Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, our today's topic is protein biosynthesis. Before this topic, we have studied DNA replication, transcription, types of RNA, genetic code, ribosomes. Now it is time to study synthesis of proteins in the cell. That is translation. What does translation mean? We have studied in the previous classes. Translation is the transfer of sequence of nucleotide in the messenger RNA into sequence of amino acid in a protein. The message base sequence in our messenger RNA is converted into amino acid sequence in a protein. In translation, messenger RNA is decoded to produce specific polypeptide according to the rules specified by the genetic code. This process uses messenger RNA sequence as a template. As we know, messenger RNA sequence is used as a template to guide the synthesis of chain of amino acid that will form a protein. Apart from messenger RNA, many other types of RNA are also transcribed, such as transfer RNA, ribosomal RNA, some nuclear RNAs. But these are not necessarily translated into amino acid sequence. Only it is the messenger RNA which is translated into protein. This process takes place on the ribosomes which are present in the cytoplasm. Then what is required? In order to synthesize protein, cells require messenger RNA, which is the message from nucleus in the form of messenger RNA. Then amino acids, which will serve the building blocks of proteins. Number 3, cell will require ribosomes, which are the factories of protein synthesis. Then transfer RNAs, cell will transfer amino acid from the cytoplasm to ribosome for the synthesis of proteins. And similarly, many initiation factors, enzymes are also required. And finally, for the energy source, cells require either guanosine triphosphate if it is prokaryote and adenosine triphosphate for in the eukaryotic cells. Now the process. The process of translation can be divided into 4 phases. First, the important one, activation of amino acid. Logically, it may not be considered as step of translation, but it is required for translation. So first of all, amino acids activation or acylation. Then formation of initiation complex. Number 3, elongation of polypeptide chain. And number 4, termination of translation. In today's lecture, we will discuss only the first two, activation of amino acids and formation of initiation complex. So first of all, activation or acylation of amino acid. Activation of amino acid mean binding of amino acid with their specific transfer RNAs. Binding of amino acid with their specific transfer RNA. This will take place with the help of a family of enzymes amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase. In activation, amino acid bind with their specific transfer RNA with the help of amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase. As a specific amino acid will bind with the specific transfer RNA, this occurs with the help of specific amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase. As there is specific transfer RNA for specific amino acid, similarly there will be specific amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase for a specific amino acid. If an amino acid has only one code, then there will be only single type of amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase for that amino acid. If an amino acid is coded by more than one codons, there may be more than one amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase for that amino acid. This enzyme, amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase, will catalyze the reaction of carboxyl group of amino acid with the hydroxyl group of transfer RNA at its three ends. As a result, ester bond is formed. Carboxyl group of amino acid will react with the 3-hydroxyl group of the transfer RNA and ester bond is formed. When the transfer RNA has an amino acid linked to it, it is termed as charged. When the transfer RNA has picked up the specific amino acid, they are charged. They are termed as charged. And amino acids are called acylated. When amino acids have become attached to the transfer RNA, they are called acylated. So bottom line is that activation of amino acid is the binding of amino acid with its specific transfer RNAs with the help of amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase. During this attachment, during this binding, carboxyl group of amino acid form ester linkage by reacting with the hydroxyl group of the transfer RNA at the three ends. This will take place in two steps. Amino acyl transfer RNA synthetases catalyze two-step reaction. Activation of amino acid will take place in two steps. As a result of this reaction, covalent bond is formed due to the reaction between the carboxyl group of an amino acid and to the three end of its corresponding transfer RNA. In the first step, enzyme, the active site of enzyme take up amino acid and ATP. As a result, amino acyl AMP complex is formed. Pyrophosphates, inorganic phosphates are released. In the second step, enzyme releases AMP and attaches amino acyl to transfer RNA. As a result, amino acyl transfer RNA are formed. Look here. This is enzyme amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase. This is any amino acid. The active site of amino acid, active site of enzyme take up amino acid along with the adenosine triphosphate. This is adenine, this is ribose, and these phosphate group ATP. Both amino acid and ATP bind with this enzyme. During this reaction, two phosphate group, pyrophosphate, are released, and amino acid bind with AMP. This complex is amino acyl AMP complex. Enzyme, AMP, amino acid, both are attached with. Amino acyl AMP enzyme, this one, amino acyl AMP complex. This is the first reaction. Then the same enzyme now will use transfer RNA. Transfer RNA will bind this active site. AMP is released and amino acid is attached with the transfer RNA. And during this attachment, carboxyl group of this amino acid react with the hydroxyl group at the three end of the transfer RNA. Ester bond is formed. Now, this transfer RNA is charged. This amino acid is acylated. This is how activation of amino acid takes place. Dear students, now you can see animation of amino acid activation. This blue colored is amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase enzyme. Its active site for amino acid bind with it, and then this active site is for ATP. AMP is released. Now transfer RNA comes, bind with active site, amino acid is transferred to the transfer RNA and AMP is released. You can see again, amino acid coming, bind with active site, ATP is coming, bind with active site, AMP is two pyrophosphate release, AMP bind with amino acid, transfer RNA comes, bind, then amino acid is transferred to transfer RNA. Now this is activated amino acid. Dear students, we have learned how amino acids are activated. Now, next step is the formation of initiation complex. This is the actual step of translation. So in the first step, amino acids are activated, mean amino acids have become attached with the specific transfer RNA with the help of amino acyl transfer RNA synthetases. All the amino acids have been activated. Now, Formation of initiation complex. Initiation complex means binding of all the components of translation system. All the components which are going to take part in translation, all the components which are going to take part in the synthesis of peptide bond, then assembled together in a specific way. So this is initiation complex. Initiation of protein synthesis involves the assembly of components of translation system before the peptide bond formation takes place. Which are the components which are going to assemble? Two ribosomal subunits, smaller one and larger one. This is the first one. Then messenger RNA, which is going to be translated. Then all the activated amino acids, amino acyl transfer RNAs. First amino acyl transfer RNA, which is actually methionine, GTP, which will provide energy, and initiation factor to facilitate the assembly of this initiation complex. The formation of initiation complex mean binding of a component of translation system. What are the components going to assemble messenger RNA? First amino acid, amino acyl transfer RNA specified by the first codon in the message. The first codon on the messenger RNA which is going to be translated is always AUG, which specify methionine amino acid. Then energy providing GTP initiation factor, all these will assemble. In prokaryotes, three initiation factors are known. IF1 initiation factor 1, initiation factor 2, initiation factor 3. Whereas in eukaryotes, there are over 10 initiation factor which are designated as EIF, eukaryotic initiation factor. Or at the same time, eukaryotic cell we use ATP instead of GTP. So, formation of initiation complex in protein in prokaryotes. Prokaryotes require two subunits, large and smaller ribosomal subunits, messenger RNA, initiator transfer RNA. Initiator transfer RNA mean transfer RNA having chemically modified methionine, N-formyl methionine, having the formyl group, carbonyl group. This is initiator transfer RNA. Prokaryotic cells for translation required two subunits, larger and smaller one, 30S and 40S. Then messenger RNA, initiator transfer RNA, and three initiation factors are required: IF1, IF2, IF3, and GTP. What are the sequence of events which take place? We can see here. This is 30S ribosome, smaller subunit. Or here it is messenger RNA. It's 5' 3' and AUG initiation codon. First of all, initiation factor 3 bind with 30S ribosome. This is initiation factor 3. It bind with the 30S ribosome. This will facilitate the binding of small ribosomal subunit with the messenger RNA at AUG, at the P site. What is P site? We will discuss later on. Initiation factor 3 bind with the 30S ribosome, and then this initiation factor will guide the ribosome to bind with the messenger RNA near AUG initiation codon. And this initiation factor also prevents larger ribosomal subunit to bind with the 30S ribosome. If this happens, ribosome become inactive. So 50S ribosome will not attach with the 30S ribosome before the attachment of messenger RNA. This is prevented by initiation factor 3. I'm repeating it again. Initiation factor bind with the 30S ribosome, which will guide 30S ribosome to bind with the messenger RNA at AUG. This initiation factor IF3 also prevent the binding of larger subunit with the 30S ribosome. This will make ribosome inactive. If larger ribosomal subunit bind with the 30S ribosome before the attachment of messenger RNA, ribosome will become inactive. Now, initiation factor 1 will also bind with the small ribosomal subunit, and initiation factor along with the GTP will also bind with the small ribosomal subunit. After this binding, initiation factor 3 will be removed from small ribosomal subunit, and this initiation factor 1 and initiation factor 2 along with the GTP guide initiator transfer RNA. Transfer RNA having N-formyl methionine. This is initiator transfer RNA. It has anticodon UAC. Its amino acid is formyl methionine. This will bind with the messenger RNA at AUG with its complementary codon. The anticodon of the initiator transfer RNA is complementary to the codon of the first codon of the messenger RNA. This is assisted by this initiation factor 2 along with the GTP and initiation factor 1. After this binding, initiation factor 1, initiation factor 2 is released and GTP is hydrolyzed to GDP. This is 30S complex. When smaller subunit has been attached, this is 30S complex. After this, 50S ribosome, larger subunit also bind. This is now 50S complex. We can repeat it again. In prokaryotic, cell initiation required the large and small ribosome subunits, the messenger RNA, initiator transfer RNA, and three initiation factor, one IF1, IF2, IF3, and GTP. Sequence is that IF3 bind to the free 30S ribosomal subunits. As I have told you that this IF3 complex, IF3 factor, facilitate the binding of 30S ribosome with the messenger RNA, and at the same time, it also prevent large ribosomal subunit to bind with the small ribosomal subunit without a messenger RNA molecule and forming an inactive ribosome. IF2 complex with the GTP mean IF2 along with the GTP and IF1 then bind to small subunit. First, IF3 bind with the 30S ribosome and then 30S ribosome attached with the messenger RNA. Then GTP along with the 1F2, IF2 and IF1 also bind with the small subunit. It will assist the charge initiator transfer RNA to bind. When GTP and initiation factor 1 bind with the small ribosomal subunit, these two, rather three, IF2, GTP, and IF1 will facilitate, will guide initiator transfer RNA having chemically modified methionine to bind with the small ribosomal subunit. The initiator transfer RNA then bind to the complex by base pairing of its anticodon with the AUG codon in the messenger RNA. At this point, IF3 can be released at this role in keeping the subunit apart and helping the messenger RNA to bind are complete. IF3 complex has been released because its role is to prevent the large ribosomal subunit to bind with the small ribosomal subunit before the binding of messenger RNA. This complex is called 30S initiation complex. The 50S subunit can now bind. As a result, initiation factor 1 and initiation factor 2 are released, displaced, and GTP is hydrolyzed in this energy consuming step. This complex is now called 70S complex. The assembled ribosome has three transfer RNA binding sites. A site, amino acyl site, where new transfer RNA carrying amino acid will bind. P site, peptidal site, where peptide bond will form. E site, exit site, from where uncharged transfer RNA will exit. A site is where incoming amino acyl transfer RNA molecule binds. P site is where the growing polypeptide chain is usually found. E site from where empty transfer RNA exit. These sites are in the cleft of small subunit and contain adjacent codon that are being translated. This is from another book, 30th ribosome, messenger RNA AUG, initiation factor 3, bind with the small ribosomal subunit, then farmyl methionine, GTP, IF2, IF1 will bind, IF3 is released, initiation initiator transfer RNA having F-farmyl methionine bind with AUG, while factor IF1, IF2 and GTP are still attached. Now, larger subunit 50S came, bind with the smaller subunit, and the factors IF1 and IF2 are released, and GTP is hydrolyzed to GTP. The question arises, how ribosome, small ribosomal subunit, recognizes AUG codon on the messenger RNA. Which factor, which process, which mechanism is involved in the binding of small ribosomal subunit at the correct site? Shine-Dalgarno sequence. Shine-Dalgarno sequence. In prokaryotes, in E. coli, a purine-rich sequence of nucleotide bases known as Shine-Dalgarno sequence is located 6 to 10 bases upstream of the initiating AUG codon on the messenger RNA molecule. Look here. This is messenger RNA molecule. This one. It's 5' it's 3' and this is initiation codon AUG. 5 to 6 nucleotide toward the 5' from AUG. Messenger RNA have some purine rich base pair GGAGGAAU, purine rich base pair. These purine rich base pair, this region of messenger RNA is called Shine-Dalgarno sequence. This is located 5 to 6 nucleotide before AUG towards the 5'. This Shine-Dalgarno sequence is complementary to ribosomal RNA present in the small ribosome subunit. This is small ribosome subunit, this one. This whole is small ribosomal subunit. This ribosomal subunit has ribosomal RNA, 16S ribosomal RNA, whose 3' has nucleotide sequence complementary to bases of Shine-Dalgarno sequence present at the 5' of the messenger RNA. This will help the small ribosomal subunit to bind with the messenger RNA near the AUG. Shine-Dalgarno sequence. In E. coli, a purine-rich sequence of nucleotide bases known as Shine-Dalgarno sequence is located 6 to 10 bases upstream of the initiating AUG codon on the messenger RNA molecule. That is near the 5 end. The 16S ribosomal RNA component of 30S ribosomal subunit has a nucleotide sequence near its 3 end that is complementary to or part of SD sequence. Therefore, 5 end of messenger RNA and 3 end of the 16S ribosomal RNA can form complementary base pair, thus facilitating the positioning of the small ribosomal subunit on the messenger RNA in close proximity to initiating codon AUG. Eukaryotic messenger RNA do not have SD sequence. In eukaryote, 40S ribosomal subunit aided by members of EIF4 family of proteins bind close to the cap structure at the 5 end of the messenger RNA and moves down the messenger RNA until it encounters the initiator codon AUG. This is scanning process required ATP. So in prokaryotes, Shine-Dalgarno sequence and sequence of bases in the ribosomal RNA of 30S ribosome will help the small ribosomal subunit to bind in close proximity to AUG on the messenger RNA. Whereas in eukaryotes, special proteins, EI eukaryote initiation factor 4 family of protein. These proteins bind close to the cap of messenger RNA 5 end and then move down the messenger RNA until the initiator codon reaches. And this scanning process required ATP. So what is a initiator codon? As we have done, initiator codon is AUG. That is reader sequence. Initiator codon is AUG. It is recognized by transfer RNA, initiator transfer RNA. This initiator transfer RNA has methionine. This recognition is facilitated by initiation factor 2 GTP in prokaryotes and EIF2 GTP, plus the additional EIFS in eukaryotes. Who will identify initiator transfer RNA? Initiator transfer RNA is identified by initiation factor 2 and GTP in prokaryotes. The complex of initiation factor 2 and GTP will recognize initiator transfer RNA in prokaryotes. However, in eukaryotes, it is identified by EIF2 GTP. The charge initiator transfer RNA enters P site on the small subunit. The initiator transfer RNA is the only transfer RNA recognized by EIF2 and the only transfer RNA to go directly to P site. The only transfer RNA which directly go to the P site is initiator transfer RNA. In bacteria and mitochondria, initiator transfer RNA will carry N-formylated methionine. जबकि in Eukaryotes, initiator transfer RNA will carry methionine, not formylated. Both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, this N-terminal methionine is usually removed before translation is completed. First amino acids are always methionine, which is then removed before the completion of translation. After this, we have learned up to this activation of amino acid. In the first step of protein synthesis, amino acids are activated, mean amino acid become attached with their specific transfer RNA with the help of amino acyl transfer RNA synthetase. Then the second step, initiation complex is formed. Initiation complex formation involved, number one, binding of small ribosomal subunit with the messenger RNA assisted by initiation factor 3. Then binding of small ribosomal subunit and messenger RNA complex with the initiator transfer RNA facilitated by initiation factor 1, initiation factor 3 and GTP. And finally, large ribosomal subunit bind. 3 active sites are exposed: P site, A site and E site. This is all about activation of amino acid and formation of initiation complex. We will continue the lesson in the next lesson. Thank you very much.